In order to find out this, we have to go 7 months back when, on April 1971, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had asked the Indian Army Chief General Sam Manekshaw if he was ready to go to war with Pakistan. According to Manekshaw's own personal account, he refused, citing the onset of monsoon season in East Pakistan and due to the fact that the army tanks were being refitted. But then he said he could guarantee victory only if she would allow him to prepare for the conflict on his terms. Gandhi accepted his conditions. After this, Indira Gandhi quietly sent Moscow a request for military assistance and expressed her willingness to join Soviet Security Treaty. The assurance was enshrined in the Indo-Soviet Treaty of Friendship and Cooperation and signed in August 1971. The treaty also included secret provisions for special military support. Soviet military support enabled India to plan a war with Pakistan, but still PNS Ghazi was a big hurdle for them, and they probably asked Soviets to remove this hurdle. To win war with Pakistan, India had needed to implement complete naval blockade between East and West Pakistan, and long-range submarine like Ghazi was the biggest hurdle. Soviets could easily provide reconnaissance airplanes, warships, and submarines and radars etc. to enable India to implement war plans. But in order to handle such military hardware, a lot of training and experience is required, and Indians had no time for training. That's why they probably asked for Soviet personal involvement. Now, this explains our theory. At the end of November, when PNS Ghazi was near Madras, at least two Soviet warships and one nuclear submarine was present there waiting, while all Indian vessels were hidden in Andaman Islands. As soon as PNS Ghazi moved towards the coast of Visakhapatnam, it was engaged by Soviet ships and submarines. This can explain why PNS Ghazi couldn't contact with naval headquarters on 26 November. PNS Ghazi successfully engaged those Soviet ships and submarines for the next 8 days, but at the night of 4th December, it got hit from a Soviet submarine. An underwater explosion happened. After this, those two ships visited the site of explosion, confirmed the sinking, and left for the Bay of Bengal. And at the same time, all ships of Indian Eastern Naval Command started their operations in Bay of Bengal. The Soviet ships then reported that English operative connection has come nearer to the territorial Indian water led by an aircraft carrier Eagle. On 6 and 13 December, the Soviet Navy dispatched two more groups of cruisers and destroyers from Vladivostok. They also trailed US Task Force 74 into the Indian Ocean. The Soviets also had a nuclear submarine to help ward off the threat posed by the USS Enterprise task force in the Indian Ocean. There is another thing that supports this theory. Rear Admiral Muhammad Sharif was flag officer commanding at the Eastern Naval Command headquarters in East Pakistan. He personally led many operations against the Eastern Command of Indian Army. Upon surrendering of Eastern Command, he was taken as a prisoner of war. He was released in 1973. Later he was allowed to resume his military service and testified in War Inquiry Commission. In 1974 he was promoted as Vice Admiral. In 1975 Vice Admiral Sharif was appointed as Chief of Naval Staff. On January 1977 he was appointed Acting Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee. On 25th December 1979, when the Soviet Union officially intervened in Afghanistan and President Zia called for a national security meeting, Sharif described in detail the Soviet involvement in East Pakistan's crisis. The Soviet support proved decisive factor and ultimately ended in splitting of Pakistan. After this meeting, Zia authorized a military operation under General Rahman It was later merged with Operation Cyclone, a program funded by the United States and the CIA.